They say failure is not an option. So I made it my lifestyle. I've been failing professionally for years. And not just casually, no, I've honed it into an art form. Some people wake up early to chase success. I wake up late to meet failure halfway, because it's polite to let it win sometimes. See, the world is obsessed with success stories. Everyone wants to tell you how they made their first million, how they built their dream body, how they hacked their morning routine to squeeze out 17% more productivity and 0% joy. But nobody talks about the rest of us. The glorious, chaotic, slightly overcaffeinated people who try, fall flat, and keep going anyway. Welcome to How to Fail, a channel dedicated to the fine art of screwing up properly. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-success. I'm just suspicious of it. It's like that one friend who always shows up overdressed to casual hangouts. It looks great, but you can't trust it. Because success sells you a story. A clean, filtered version of life where effort always equals outcome, and everyone's destiny can be controlled through grit, gratitude, and a Google Calendar. Meanwhile, failure tells you the truth. It whispers, hey, you're human. Relax. And that's why I'm here. To teach you what no school, seminar, or self-help guru ever will. How to fail correctly. If success is a ladder, failure is the floor. And you can't climb anything without first standing somewhere solid. So over the next few minutes, I'll take you through my greatest hits, my most impressive collapses, the kind of mistakes that deserve applause for their artistic integrity. But before we dive into that, let's get one thing clear. Failure isn't an accident. It's a system. It starts the moment you believe you're supposed to have it all figured out. The moment you think life is a test with right answers. That's how you fail, beautifully, consistently, and without apology. So whether you've just lost your job, ended a relationship, dropped out of school, or simply forgot what day it is, congratulations, you're already halfway there. Because here's the secret nobody tells you. You don't need to avoid failure. You just need to stop pretending you can. Welcome to the show. Welcome to How to Fail in Life. Now, let's get started. Every superhero has an origin story. Mine just started with a spectacular lack of talent. I've always been good at failing. When other kids were learning how to ride bikes, I was learning how to fall off them traumatically. Some people collect coins, stamps, or NFTs. I collect bad decisions, limited editions, all signed by me. My first major failure came early. I tried to start a lemonade stand. Simple, right? But I decided to make it gourmet. Imported lemons, organic sugar, a logo. I spent all my pocket money on branding and sold exactly 2 cups, both to my grandmother. She paid me in pity and expired coupons. That's when I learned my first business lesson. A great idea is worthless if your target audience is lactose intolerant and you're selling cheese. But I didn't stop there. Oh no, I evolved. I graduated to teenage-level disasters. Failed exams, failed crushes, failed hairstyles, each one a masterpiece of overconfidence. If failure was a sport, I'd have a sponsorship deal by now. Then came adulthood, where failure stops being cute and starts being expensive. Jobs, relationships, business ventures, each one a new episode in my long-running series, What Were You Thinking? There was a time I thought I was destined for greatness. You know that illusion? The one they sell in motivational videos with drone shots and epic music? Follow your passion, they say. So I followed mine straight off a cliff. I started a business once, poured everything I had into it. Time, energy, and the last few drops of my sanity. I was sure it would change lives. It did. Mostly mine. from financially stable to creatively broke. The day it failed, I remember sitting in my car watching people walk by, each one looking like they knew exactly what they were doing. And I thought, how did I end up here? Then it hit me. That's exactly what everyone else was thinking too. We're all just pretending. Some of us are just better at acting successful than others.
That's the thing about hitting bottom. It's not this dramatic movie moment with violins and slow motion. It's quiet. It's sitting in your room at 3 a.m. realizing the world hasn't stopped spinning just because you did. It's the silence after the plan collapses. The awkward space where ego dies and honesty finally shows up. That's when I learned something important. Failure doesn't kill you. It introduces you to yourself. Because when there's nothing left to prove, there's finally room to breathe. To see who you are without the filters, the titles, or the goals. Failure strips everything fake away, and what's left might just be real. After that, I made peace with my reputation. I became a connoisseur of collapse. Friends would come to me for advice, and I'd say, listen, I can't tell you how to win, but I can absolutely teach you how to lose with style. Because there's a certain dignity in falling when you learn how to land softly. So yeah, I've failed in business, in love, in trying to wake up before noon. But I've also failed at being bitter, at staying down, at pretending I don't care. And maybe that's progress. Maybe failing repeatedly, sincerely, stubbornly is its own kind of success. So if you're watching this thinking you've ruined your life, relax. You're in excellent company. You haven't failed life. You've just started living it without the filters. Now that you know where I came from, let's talk about where we all are in a world obsessed with pretending to succeed. Welcome to the cult of success. Success used to be a goal. Now it's a religion. Everywhere you look, there's a sermon. The preachers wear hoodies and AirPods. Their scripture is a podcast. Their altar is a ring light. And their commandment? Thou shalt grind. We wake up and check our phones like morning prayer. We scroll through saints of productivity, apostles of passive income, prophets of hustle till you collapse attractively on camera. Their gospel is simple. If you're not winning, you're not worthy. Imagine telling that to a tree. Grow faster, you lazy oak. But the tree just stands there, quietly photosynthesizing, because it has nothing to prove. That tree, wiser than half of LinkedIn. See, we built a culture that worships constant improvement, but forgot what enough feels like. Our calendars look like war maps. Our coffee cups say motivation in cursive. We call exhaustion a badge of honor. I once watched a morning routine video where a guy woke up at 3:45 a.m. to meditate, ice bath, journal, and run 10 miles before sunrise. Meanwhile, I was proud of myself for finding matching socks. And guess what? We both survived the day. One of us just smelled more like peppermint oil and self-deception. The cult of success tells you that happiness is a trophy, something you earn after enough spreadsheets and smoothies. But that's not happiness. That's a marketing funnel with feelings. Because real life isn't a straight line upward. It's a chaotic graph that looks like someone sneezed while holding a marker. One day you're inspired. The next, you're Googling, is it normal to feel dead inside before lunch? Spoiler, yes. We measure our worth in followers, income, abs, and engagement rates. But no one tracks peace of mind or the number of times they genuinely laughed that week. Those stats don't look good on a resume. When did success become a performance? When did being fine stop being fine? There's this silent pressure now that if you're not exceptional, you don't deserve to exist publicly. We forget that mediocrity is not a flaw. It's the statistical majority. Someone has to be average for the world to make sense. And honestly, it's a relief. The average person still makes breakfast, pays bills late, and talks to plants. That's not failure. That's life, happening correctly. But here's the trick. The system needs you to feel like a loser.
because only insecure people buy courses on confidence. Only burnt-out workers watch videos on how to wake up at 4 a.m. If you ever truly believed you were enough, the economy would collapse before lunch. That's the true genius of the cult of success. It keeps you running on the treadmill of almost there. You'll never arrive because arrival doesn't sell ads. Failure, on the other hand, has no brand deal. It doesn't post selfies. It just sits quietly in the corner, waiting for you to notice it, to realize that it's not the enemy, it's the exit. Failure is freedom, disguised as defeat. It says, you can stop pretending though. And that's terrifying, because once you stop pretending, you might have to actually live without the script, without the hustle, without the constant applause of strangers. The irony, the moment you stop chasing success like a worshiper, you start succeeding at things that matter: sleep, sanity, sincerity. So maybe the goal isn't to quit your job or triple your revenue. Maybe it's to unsubscribe from the illusion that you're behind. Because the cult of success will keep preaching forever. Do more, earn more, be more. But here's the quiet truth I learned at rock bottom. You are already something. And that's enough material for an entire lifetime. Failure taught me that. Success never returned my calls. So here we are. You've learned the uncomfortable truth. Failure isn't the villain of your story. It's the plot twist that makes the story worth telling. Success? It's just the awkward epilogue nobody reads. Because failure, real failure, is where the character development happens. But knowing that is just a beginning. Because there is an art to failing, a science, a technique. Some people fail accidentally, but the greats, the true masters, fail on purpose. In our next episode, I'll teach you how to do exactly that. How to fail better. So subscribe, leave a comment, and join me here in the beautiful wreckage, because this fall has only just begun.